Evening, everyone. Welcome to Sunday Sound Off, where you get to be part of the conversation on everything sports. Tweet us your questions and comments using the hashtag Sunday Sound Off. Let's introduce tonight's panel. Of course, from Sports Radio 810 WHB, Seren Petro back in his seat. How you doing, Seren, tonight?
I'm doing well, Frank. It was good to see you out and about last night. You didn't embarrass yourself, so that was nice. Although I'm not sure about this tie shirt combination.
You don't like that
tonight.
much tonight?
I don't know. I mean, you're more fashionable than me. I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. Okay, fine. All right, TJ Carpenter, he does Sports Night on Sports Radio 810 WHB. TJ?
I'm doing great, Frank. I just hope that you have Game of Thrones DVR'd because...
Oh, I do.
Okay.
Believe me,
sure.
I do. Don't worry. I'll have scorch marks getting out of here tonight. Blair Kirchhoff, fine columnist from the Kansas City Star. Blair, how are you?
I'm great, Frank. I really enjoy hearing Seren comment on other people's fashion statements.
All right, gentlemen, here are our hot topics of the evening. What is your level of concern of the Royals' offense? Right now, they're way down the list of Major League Baseball for scoring runs per game. What should the NBA draft have told college basketball's underclassmen? And number three, will the experiment to lure Rams fans into the Chiefs' kingdom work? But first, to our question of the week, what's your level of concern for the Royals and their pitching staff? We're probably talking, Seren, not just about the starters, but also the relievers who've been worked hard so far.
Well, I mean, my level of concern is not that great. I mean, look, every time, I think we still just haven't had enough success here in Kansas City because every time this team loses 4 or 5 games out of 6 or something like that, we're chicken little and the sky is falling and everything's falling apart. And what are we going to do? And we panic. And I think reality is we need to understand this is a good baseball team. Maybe they won't win the division. Maybe they won't go to the playoffs, but they're not just going to fall on their face. So I don't think we need to panic. Now, look, I do think they need a starting pitcher, and I think Danny Duffy's start tomorrow against the Cardinals is a very big one. He needs to get things going in the right direction. He's had a couple of off starts. If he has a good start against the Cardinals, Adam Wainwright, and then if you can get Ventura to throw well against Michael Walker, 2 good young homegrown starters to have a good day, I think the Royals look a lot better. Chris Young is a problem. We've known that. I think the Royals have known that in spring training. They've known that they're going to need to find somebody. I think they were hoping one of the young guys would come up and grab that spot. It hasn't happened to this point, but that's an issue. And I think they're going to have to find a 5th starter at the deadline for sure. But after that, like, I'm not going to panic about Edinson Volquez's terrible inning. I think he can bounce back. Now, if he can't, then they got problems. But they definitely need one starting pitcher. That's not a reason to panic.
I am Chicken Little. The sky is always falling. TJ, what do you think?
Hey, well, I was going to say, well, we can't really curse on the air, can we? I think it's a huge problem. But you know what? It was a problem last year too, and they went out and they got another pitcher. So they got Johnny Cueto. I think that there are serious issues on the road. Edinson Volquez has way too many base runners on the road. Ian Kennedy gives up way too many home runs on the road. So does Chris Young. Gives up way too many home runs. Period. Your Ventura can't stay. Not suspended. He can't stop from getting people to punch him in the face. And then, of course, you've got Danny Duffy, who can't make it through the order 3 times. So, yeah, I think that there's a lot of things to be concerned about with the pitching staff right now. And, yes, the more games where you're getting these really wide scoring margins, the offense then kind of gives up, and then you tax your bullpen. And I think that all starts with the starting pitching staff. I think it is a major concern right now.
Blair, you're out there today. What are your thoughts?
Well, today was superb and an effort that the Royals so desperately needed with Ian Kennedy, probably his best game of the year. And he had to have been motivated by, just the Royals needed it. Absolutely had to have it. Between Volquez and Young, you had 3 1/3 innings and 19 runs surrendered on Friday and Saturday. The Astros are a hot-hitting team, of course. It's a very good team, a team that's playing now the way we thought the Astros would play at the beginning of the year. But overall, as a concern about the pitching staff, certainly not the bullpen, the back end for sure. And I'm with Seren on this. I'm not overly concerned right now. It was a little disconcerting to have to have Volquez and Young get hit like they did in Kauffman Stadium. But I'm going to count that as an aberration. I think Volquez is going to bounce back, and I think Chris Young will end up being in the bullpen here pretty soon. Chris Medlin had a great start the other night in his rehab assignment. He's got another one coming up. I think we'll see Medlin back in the rotation pretty soon.
All right, up next in our hot topics, and of course, we'll be talking about the Royals' offense, which hasn't been very good either. You're watching Sunday Sound Off.